I just found something so unexpected on my bulletin board that I'm not even dressed or made up, and it's nighttime and I probably don't have enough light on me, but I have to read it anyway. It's because I've never, people read Refuse to Choose and they feel so much better. And many of them just feel better knowing that they're scanners. But I never had quite the pieces about how that made their lives better all by itself. And I haven't talked too much about the day book, which has been very important to people, very, very important. And then I came across this discussion on my bulletin board. Started a year ago. And it explains everything, so I have to read it. I just have to get it recorded. This is from someone called Now I Know, and the title of the topic he started is "So Excited About the Newly Discovered Life as a Scanner." Friday, July 18th, 2014. My Scanner Journal. I hope it would be okay to share here the excitement of noticing the change of my life. After I discovered that I'm a scanner, I started to see myself as a project. I'm now interested in my change, how I feel differently than before. I just want to write it out, the wonderful feeling inside my chest. At the moment, about 2 months after I first discovered the book Refuse to Choose, the change was more subjective at first, but it became more and more objective. In the beginning, I just started with feeling some hope instead of hopelessness. Before this, I had no idea what my next 10 years were going to be. I assumed then that I was going to start many things, be enthusiastic about them for a while, and then I was pretty sure I would drop it before finishing it and hate myself. Before, I thought the non-finished product equates to zero, meaning I don't achieve anything. It will happen till I die. After reading Refuse to Choose, I guess I started telling myself subconsciously that it's okay to be like this. Others did it too. It's not a problematic life. It's a normal life like some others. No curse, no shame, no guilt. What a relief. I remember that in the past 2 months, my first reaction was to celebrate. I'm a scanner who, with the support of my partner, was partially successful in forcing myself to dive. I have been working for 20 years, only 6 months break in between, which was wonderful. Because I felt like being forced all the time, I've been saving money because I had a secret fear that one day I would leave my work and have to live off my savings if I could no longer bear it. I didn't enjoy anything else than my own creativity. After reading Refuse to Choose, subconsciously, I went out to celebrate. I didn't buy many clothes or eat out much before. I didn't feel like doing that. Most expenses were on art supplies and craft materials. However, now I started buying clothes again and enjoying eating Japanese foods, Western food, dessert, and ice cream. I craved for them all. And later I have to go on a diet again, as I always do in my life. I found myself go back to swimming and to the gym since I started to like my life. After that, I've been entering a lot into scanner day books. I have done a lot more drawings than before. I used to try to avoid drawing my ideas in a book. I have made a lot of small handmade cards for colleagues in my office, cards which took less than 30 minutes to create for various occasions, which I never had the energy to do before. Now I have energy to list people's names for making the big card with more details than I used to do before. I then found out there are lots of interesting postings in this Refuse to Choose forum on this bulletin board. I don't think I would need any new books for a while. It's a whole new world to explore. Refuse to Choose advised me to map out the unfinished projects in my place, in my apartment. I therefore started exploring the pile of art material and craft supplies I've been collecting years and years everywhere. I personally don't really like a mess since I'm practicing Zen and meditation. There was an internal conflict before. I like a tidy house, but if I don't see project material and supplies lying around the place, I forgot what idea I had. So I used to spread them all out, but was disappointed to see them unfinished and not living in the clean, tidy place. The Scanner Daybook is a great solution. Even though before the book I had folders of my previous drawings of projects, it was just proof of my failure to finish things. But now that I've read the book, the Scanner Daybook is so practical in remembering my ideas, and it's no longer painful to look at. I took those art supply materials out of the shelf from under the table and took photos of each group. Then I went through all the cabinets in the house. I got rid of old clothes and old newspapers and boxes that I won't use again. I sorted them out, and I gave or threw them away since I now have energy I didn't have before. Oh, I love this letter so much. And I found lots of space. I put art supplies in each cabinet, and I printed photos of them, which I placed inside the cabinet door. There is no pressure to finish them, and the ideas are saved in my Scanner Daybooks. I got the tidy house I want to live in. I plan to list what I have finished doing in the past and organize it. I think the Scanner Daybooks are going to be bigger and bigger. I have a lot to do in finding the idea and materials for the cards I plan to make. I use meditation to help me keep balance between office work I have to do and the eagerness to jump into those projects, which I will only do until my rewards end. That's out of Refuse to Choose. He understands that as long as a scanner is getting a reward from what he's doing, he should stay. And as soon as the reward is gone, he will become disinterested and he should leave. So he's given himself that permission. I will only do this until my rewards end and enjoy the journey of figuring out how to do it instead of concentrating on the finished product. I feel wonderful. Thanks again for this forum, to give me a chance to express the wonderful feeling I have. I will continue to read the previous posting of all scanners, and I look forward to what you all would like to share. That same day, I went into the bulletin board a year ago, and I said, what a wonderful report. I'm reading it late at night, and I can feel a huge smile on my face. Welcome home, fellow scanner. Thank you so much for your kind words. Hearing welcome home, fellow scanner from you means a lot to me. After roaming around for 42 years, I really feel like home with fellows who understand me. I hope to add more entries to my journal. Thank you again. Then M. Space wrote, great report. Now I know is the name of the person who's been doing this writing. Great report, now I know. Thanks for sharing. It's great to hear success stories of scanners who discover themselves and unleash their superpowers at last. Bravo to you. Square Peg came in and said, that's a really awesome testimonial. Thanks for sharing. Now I know said, thank you for your kind words. I'm so glad to have this moment of my life I never imagined to have. And so I'm sitting here reading this and thinking, oh, I hope this lasts. Oh, I hope this lasts. I hope this isn't something that doesn't last. And now I know, thank you very much, Square Peg. This is a great moment of my life, so great. I want to record it so I could reread it from time to time. And then Now I Know comes in with another entry for his Scanner Life Journal. This is only a few days later. At the moment I started rereading each chapter of the book Refuse to Choose carefully. My friend joked that I'm going to make a thesis out of the book. I used the study method to see what is the key idea and how much I remember in each paragraph. Then I go back to read the paragraph again until I understand and remember the key idea. Still feeling great every day about not having to pressure myself to finish all the projects. However, I did make progress in many projects in the meantime. This journal is one of the projects, this journal that he's writing in the forum. This journal is one of the projects which has progress. Going back to look through all my notebooks, I saw many diaries in various topics I had started and dropped. It was the guilt feeling and lack of understanding of my scanner characteristics which stopped me from writing them. The understanding of one's identity is so powerful. Now I feel like it's worth recording how I transform, and it's okay to do it only as long as I want to do it. Organizing my place is also the project which has progress. It is so fulfilling going through each cabinet, getting rid of stuff and having more free space. When I first read the book, I decided that the first project to take action on should be changing my environment instead of jumping to art and craft ideas in my head. I still have my whole life to do that. This is because I don't feel like having to rush out and buy some materials or spend time to Google something because I was afraid I would forget the idea. And that made me busy all the time, kind of in a constant rush. I started to feel that I have time now. How wonderful. This is a life-changing moment. I started to see the major changes in my feeling and my environment now. Though it progresses slowly, because when the ideas keep popping up and everything I see is a scanner, I have to stop from time to draw and write in my scanner daybook. However, after the quick drawing, I could come back to the project of organizing my place. This is the first time I could continue the project I prioritized. I am so content. Though I have other things to finish because they're due, I have an upcoming trip abroad in the next several weeks, which I have to prepare for. My partner took me on a trip once a year in the past 10 years. My car is also due for inspection, and I should have a medical checkup. Listen to this. However, I don't feel any pressure anymore because I no longer think like I did before, that if I spend time on those necessary things, I will lose some idea and time to work on my art project. Boy, I feel like there are so many scanners who have to hear this. That's why I'm reading it out loud. I hate to read so much and not talk, but I used to think that I have to be at my home all the time, so at least I could finish something and not be 100% loser, only 95%. Now I just carry small scanner daybooks with me. I write the idea down when I'm running some errands. There will always be new ideas, and it's not dysfunctional not to finish them. I feel so amazing. Listen to this one. I also started accepting lunch and dinner invitations from my siblings and friends. It's been wonderful spending time with them again. I hope you can hear how amazing this is. This really is a transformation, and this is the only person I know who has recorded what it feels like. I want a lot of people to know about it. The difference compared to before, when I was avoiding invitations as much as I could, is again that the pressure I put on myself to finish something and the constant resisting not to be a loser are gone. I used to think those lunches and dinners stole time from me. I have done my duty going to work in the office Monday to Friday. Lunches and dinners with friends and family used to feel like a weekend duty before, like additional work. With that attitude, I might not enjoy myself much when I did go, and they felt it. They felt that I didn't enjoy myself. Nowadays, it's been wonderful to open up and learn about lives of people I love and care about. Knowing my art ideas are saved somewhere, and it doesn't matter when I finish them. The writing and drawing of the ideas in the scanner daybook in itself is an achievement. I feel great. One of the readers said, "It's great reading your reports. Your enthusiasm clearly shows from your writing. Such a great feeling, isn't it? Being excited. Welcome, you're here with your kin." I love these people. Elaine, wonderful Elaine Glimmy, the novelist. She says, "Reading your posts makes me happy too." M. Space says, and this is August 11th, about almost 2 months later. You're a terrific scanner success story. NIK, that stands for Now I Know. And I love hearing about your progress, to keep bringing them if you feel like it. So sensitive. Now I Know comes back and says, thank you, Medalia. It's such a great feeling. I finally feel peace in my heart. About a month later, after these people wrote. And answered Elaine too. Thank you, Elaine. I'm so happy to hear from a scanner too. And Now I Know answered M-Space. Thank you very much, M-Space. I love my life enough now that I'm planning to follow up my life's progress from now on. September 13th, 2014. My Scannel Life Journal number 3. So sorry I have not been here for a while, and to thank those who replied to my post. Thanks again. I remember that the book Refuse to Choose said that hiding your scanner personality is like trying to keep a puppy in a bag, and knowing your identity is like letting the puppy run free. Oh boy, I feel like I have been running around the world like the puppy since my last posting. I thought I could control the puppy, but I realize now it's quite a strong puppy and could not be put on a leash easily after 42 years in the bag. To report to you, any who would read this, since the last post I have been very happy. Everything is so exciting. It's like I have just been born and my scanner life is just 5 months old. I totally saw everything with a different feeling. I have a plan to write my journal more often than this, which I will in the future, but though I live the same life I lived before, everything I see now is like the first time I see it. It's full of hope and potential of happiness, not necessarily a finished product. Thanks again, Barbara. You really saved me from a miserable life and helped people. I hope you remember this every day. I'm still working on your thank you card for your information. This is my thank you card. But these past 2 months, phew, the ideas kept popping up in my head nonstop. I guessed it was because I've tried to suppress them for 42 years, tried to eliminate them in the course of trying to be normal, and or tried to fight them as I have no rights to have new ideas when I have not yet done the old ones. Now that I'm not busy with the said activities, the guilt-free ideas, what I want to do, is like a fountain. All I could do is writing them in the scanner daybooks as fast as I could. I have filled about 2 books. They are mostly drawing because I didn't have enough time to describe in words. It's been an amazing feeling. I'm not obliged to make them. I'm not obliged to make the things I talked about in my daybook. I'm not obliged to make them. I already got my reward having them in the scanner daybook. You know, that's what Leonardo did. He didn't make everything he put in his notebooks. He just put them in there. That was a good thing. He showed us the way. And sometimes, incidentally, I call the scanner daybook a Da Vinci notebook, just because it rings a bell with people. I have not deeply read about the different types of scanners. I know now that I'm not interested in everything, just many things. For example, engines or robot, no. My main focus is art. In addition to pop-up art, I love Disney, costumes, history, and miniatures. Since it's not possible yet to make costumes for humans to wear, I made them for 12-inch doll size, like Barbie dolls and other dolls in the market nowadays. I combine the 4 above, and I focus on historical costumes and miniature objects. Scanner daybooks are filled with design themes. I jumped into drawing them into the book with the manner of a puppy. Every kind of art project I ever wanted to do, I drew and wrote one after another every day. It's no more feeling like wrongdoing. It is truly an amazing feeling. I guess as a 5-month-old scanner in the body of a 42-year-old man, I'm a happy person. This is the first year I don't feel, now listen to this, listen to how big this gets. This is the first year I don't feel like my boss hates me. I notice that I have let go of many comments which I used to sweat, the small stuff, a lot, because I was feeling like a loser and I was so sensitive with people's comments. That's gone. As a result, I no longer interact with people as if they were potential murderers of my confidence anymore. Though currently I have something in life to think about, a major change, I remain calm and keep finding information. It's not a worry, only do nothing like in the past. Oh, in the past he would worry, but he wouldn't do anything. It's not a worry, only do nothing like in the past, pre-scanner life. And a big smiley emoji there. I also have had a big extra project at work in the past 2 months. Some kind of work crisis, which required research and analysis. I feel like it's the first time I worked hard and still felt so calm. Strange, but true. I carry the book Refuse to Choose around like as if I have a new machine which needs the manual within reading distance. I try to reach more, and each time I think I understand more of another technique in the book. I have to read them over and over. A manual is not supposed to be read one time or just when a problem occurs. If you need to operate the machine, you should know the relevant items in the manual by heart. However, the ideas and scanner daybook entries distracted me from reading the book. I'm trying to balance it. You're doing all right. Don't worry about the book. I have many ideas about each aspect of my life. Education, finance, hobbies, traveling. Listen to this. I think knowing your identity is like knowing where your happiness is and not what you were told. It's supposed to be your happiness. And it lets you go straight to it. Discovering the book Refuse to Choose was a life-changing moment for me. I have started my Scanner Life Journal on the Facebook page. I've got to find out, now I know his name, so that I can go to the Facebook page. I started my Scanner Life Journal on the Facebook page, and I have plans to make a Facebook page for each of my projects and the procedures so that people might benefit from the I love this guy. This is from the book too.